The Nedbank Group continues to demonstrate its commitment to environmental sustainability by offering green financing solutions in support of green projects. Speaking at the Green Financing Seminar hosted by Nedbank Eswatini during the trade fair on Tuesday, Mokhadi Maloba, sustainability lead at Nedbank Group, highlighted the various initiatives the group is undertaking to promote and support the transition to a green economy.
Without a planet, without equality, without social protections, we can't operate as business. So if there's no rain, if people aren't able to buy, we don't all exist. Nedbank doesn't have a purpose anymore, right? And really for us, it's about commercial differentiation. So whether you're in South Africa, you're in the rest of Africa, we are known as a green bank. So people who are dedicated to the space have done it. Nedbank has started this journey for over 35 years, right? So we started in our affinities through partnership with the WWF South Africa, and now we've gotten to a place of commercializing our ESG credentials. And that's really what I'm here to talk to you guys about how we have managed to do that work in South Africa and the rest of Africa where we have space, and we're really looking to partner up with Eswatini, the government, as well as the businesses, as well as the individuals who operate in this space. So here are purpose principles. So we fully understand the role that banks play. We are not the farmer. We are not the property developer. We are not the miner. We are not the manufacturer. Our job is to finance the people who do good so that we can drive the strategic direction, right? And it's an explicit commercial agenda. We operate within the space of this is how business works. Business works to make money. So it's not a nice thing to do. It is how do we make money grow, transform, and become better. So from a climate and nature approach, there's a couple of things that sort of guide where we are. Our strategic value unlock is around creating positive impact from a social, environmental, and from a governance view. And that is guided by our climate position statement, nature position statement, and our sustainable development finance inclusion criteria. And all of those tools help us in how we manage our operations, how we do institutional and external capacity building, how we are supporting our clients to transition, because we are very aware that we as a continent have contributed the least, but will be the most impacted by climate change and nature. So therefore, we can't have any of our clients, any of our businesses suffer. So we need to help them transition. So that's supporting, but we also understand we need to have investments in the newer industries in the economy. So we are looking at it from a full value chain point. We're not trying to copy and paste what happens in the West because we understand our context, right? The 17 Sustainable Development Goals, we have prioritized 17 of those that look into sustainable finance, our own operations, as well as corporate social investment. So when you look at the journey of Nedbank, right, like I said, initially, environmental things were seen as CSI. So you had the affinities, green affinities, where we had a lot of the Rhino projects. The people who've been here longer know about them, supporting a lot of the communities in terms of building, and we have found that that has allowed us to become a differentiator. For that to become a differentiator, right? So one of our biggest goals is to make sure that 20% of our book by the end of this year is dedicated to sustainable development finance, right? And at half year, we were at 19.6. That equates to 189 billion rand that we have actively invested in sustainable finance. And that includes green buildings, lending in the agricultural space, green finance from SG7, and financing for clean water, which is important, right? Because when you look at how climate change is going to and is currently affecting Eswatini, and you guys being an agricultural hub and manufacturing hub, it is in these issues where we have strategically built internal capabilities and are market leaders, not only in South Africa, but in the rest of Africa. So in doing this, we understand we have to do less of the bad stuff, right? So we have built a glide path, which is a way for us to systematically reduce investment into our more because they're important. I don't want to make anybody feel alienated, but our more intrusive and very high impact industries. So we are going to systematically see how we're going to reduce our investment in thermal coal power, and then increase power generation in the greener space, and also how we're going to reduce our exposure in terms of oil and gas. So again, very strategically, very intentional, not just following the hype. This is how we promise ourselves and continue to be purpose-driven in how we continue to be a market leader in this space. So, like I said, from a purpose offering, this is what we have done. So you will see that traditionally the corporate social investment wheel was sitting traditionally, as you see, education, community development, sports, arts and culture, and employee volunteerism. But you see the green economy part has become bigger, a bigger part of the chunk, meaning it is how we are starting to build the pipeline for green economic investment. So as many of you would know, if not, but a lot of these new industries do not have a viable business case. So because we understand and see that, we are now investing in small SMEs through grant and concessionary funding to make sure that we're building the pipeline for them to get right through to our full value chain, right through to our corporate investment banking, right? At a retail point, we have an other platform where we do solar and water solutions that we offer in SA and some of our other regions where we have partnered up for the full value chain in terms of installation, maintenance, as well as refurbishment. And this is one of the things, and this we've been able to have 1.59 million users, right, be able to be added to this. This includes for people in our home loans, but even our staff. And when SME point, I've spoken about it, where we have had a lot of investment and support for over 318 small businesses. And we have helped a lot of our book in terms of sustainable finance actually sits in the solar space, where we have been able to help a lot of clients, because we also have the same issue, right? Load shedding didn't start here. We've had it for a bit longer in SA. So we have found a way to make SMEs more resilient. And not only that, but also that helps us in terms of cutting and understanding how we reduce the issues, the pressure on our base load. And then in terms of social investments, we have had, we've built, we have now launched the social impact unit, which is commercializing this catalytic funding. And in terms of an input point, we have over 300 million invested and 153 green economy projects funded. And I'll give you an example of one of the ones that we have done from the beginning and is now a fully viable business. There's a company called Eswatini Water, and they came in the beginning, and it's a water kiosk using macadamias to clean the water. They started small, they are now distributed around South Africa and running as part of our SME business. Those are the kind of investments we're trying and looking to replicate in Eswatini and the rest of Africa. We have won many awards, being known as the best sustainable finance bank in Africa, top JSE firm listed, and we continue to be known as the best employer in Africa as it relates to sustainable finance employee value proposition. So, like we said, corporate investment banking, we have over 40 billion in the past year, have 40 billion in renewable energy exposure. And we have 2.5 green loan utility facility for solar to scale it, affordable housing at 3.2 billion, and have now launched ESG advisory and transition finance for our clients. And even with our asset book, with our asset management business and wealth business, we have launched products that are looking to invest in social and social and clean and climate action, right? So going back to the green economy strategy, which I think is important for a growing region such as yourself, which is built around the 4 pillars about water, energy, waste, and building the circular economy for rural communities and allowing for youth entrepreneurship support. This is such a pivotal thing for this agenda, because it's very easy to focus on the big, large-scale businesses, but that means we don't fix one of our bigger issues as the African region, which is inequality. When you've seen AI come in, when we've seen new business come in, people have been left behind. So what we are doing here is to intentionally make sure that as the green disruption happens, we are bringing our people with us. So this is one of the things that in the SME space, you can come to Nedbank and say, I have a green entity. This is the support I need, and there's funding. We don't necessarily do the work, we fund the people that do the work. So there's a number of partners we have, like Further, using the YES program, where we understand that, again, we are not the doers, we are the funders of the doers. So it's about you making sure that you have a credible business plan that is solving a societal issue, allowing us to continue to invest to create a better world. So in terms of service offering, I've spoken largely around the community and early stage funding, but really I want us to talk about the retail and motor solutions that are being offered through AVO, where SMMEs, and even you as a person, additionally to your home loan, you can now add these services where if there's a water issue, you would have Jojo tanks, but also you would be able to get this. And we're also able to help you if you've got access power to help you put it back onto the grid in places like South Africa where it's allowed for wheeling points. So again, partnering up with the clients to make sure that they have got multiple revenue streams. In terms of agriculture, we've partnered up with the likes of Agrico on things around shade netting, sustainable irrigation, and also how we can do research in terms of supporting indigenous farmers, but to make better and more sustainable and regenerative agriculture, which traditionally, if we're going to be honest, is how we've always farmed, right? Western farming was introduced, but traditionally we've always farmed in a sustainable way. So it's about returning back to self, and this is how we support that. In terms of green services, we are doing the large-scale work, like I said, so it's in terms of investments, but also in terms of creating different products. We're a market leader in the space. We are one of the first to have a JSE-listed green sustainability-linked loans, and we continue to lead in this space. So we believe in partnership, and that's why we're all here, right? We can't do this alone, and we continue to partner with people like the WWF for over 34 years. It remains. And we also continue to want to support the just transition. So whoever is a equivalent of a WWF, whoever can do the advocacy work, we want to partner up with you so that we can make sure that our money from a CSI point goes to supporting the right kind of projects, because you guys are at the grassroots level and we would never be able to identify all of those people. So that is really another strategic thing that we are doing to make sure that we are putting purpose into practice. So impact examples, we've got a 75 million watt solar farm that in the Eastern Cape and the Northern Cape that powers over 120 households. And in terms of sustainable agriculture, we have seen an uptake in shade netting, which is looking at how hot it is now and you have limited rain. So we actually put the investment to make sure that your crops are being covered and they're being invested for. We're making sure that you are having the right kind of irrigation systems to support the crops that you have, but also the water issues in the area that you're in. But also we are doing it at a large scale where we are partnering up, like people like that, here would be Eswatini Water, but for us, THC, we have actual partnership with them, whether it's through the Makole there by Lopan in Mudimule, or whether it is with the Lesotho Highlands project. We are strategic partners in those kind of conversations. So we have the expertise, we have the skills, and we can help you guys find a way to become more resilient in how you guys manage your solar and also water issues in the country. And we have SME green technology adoption. So again, we have partnered up with a lot of key partners who help us to understand what is available in the market. So even if you don't have the idea, you are able to come into the bank and say, I am looking and this is an idea that I'm having. We help you expand the idea. So the grant funding doesn't even start when you have the idea. It's, I think I can have the solution, and we help you build the idea. So again, making sure that we've got the entire finance value chain from beginning right through to the end. So why all of you guys should continue to partner up with us as our clients and future clients is sector expertise. Nobody comes close. Everybody tries, but we are the best in the business. We have robust ESG risk frameworks, and we do provide regional support. So a lot of these things have been replicated in Namibia, in Cote d'Ivoire, we've seen it in West Africa. These things can be done because it's a matter of plug and play, because we've built that capability, and we are purpose-driven. We are not doing it because it's a nice thing to have. We're not doing it because it's good PR. We're doing it because we make money from it. Therefore, partnering up with us means you also get to make money. So, call to action is come together. Like I think Bongani spoke in the beginning, it's going to require all of us getting into one room and having the conversations. What are you doing? What's available? What's happening? It's going to require us being able to make sure that the businesses that you want to build are able to be funded at every level, and also making sure that nobody's left behind.
Right, we've just heard there from Mohadi Malobe, Sustainability Lead at Nedbank Group, highlighting initiatives the group is undertaking to support and drive green financing. Stay tuned. This is Nedbank Business Watch. We do have our market analysis segment coming up immediately after this.